I'm Ben Meiselas from the MeidasTouch Network. Herschel Walker was out in Georgia giving, I don't know what to even call this speech, but he was talking about how vampires are very cool, and then are you aware that vampires fight with wolves? This is one of the strangest things I've ever seen before. Let me show you this clip right now. Play it.
I want to tell you to keep the faith. Oh, you ever watch a stupid movie late at night hoping it's going to get better, don't get better, but you keep watching it anyway? Because the other night I was watching this movie. I was watching this movie called Freak Night, or some type of night, but it was about vampires. I don't know if you know vampires are some cool people, are they not? But I'm going to tell you something that I found out. A werewolf can kill a vampire. Did you know that? I never knew that, so I didn't want to be a vampire anymore. I wanted to be a werewolf. But then anyway, as I'm watching this movie, and then you can tell how stupid it is because it's 1 in the morning. So I'm watching my TV, these kids watching their TV, a vampire kill on their TV.
All right. Enough. Just stop playing the clip. I think I'm just literally losing brain cells watching that, and I can't let my audience see that as well. What in the world is he talking about? But he doesn't just stop there. This is where he also, in the same speech, talks about how people in Washington are too weak, and that's why we need to have police officers, need to be in the schools, and that people need to ride their bike, and that's what Senator Warnock is doing, riding a bike with Joe Biden. I have no clue what he's even saying, but here, this is actually real. Play this clip.
What we need to do is get rid of those 87,000 RS agents that's going to go after you. Maybe we need to put some of those police officers in our schools to protect our kids. That's what we need to do. That's what we need to do. But yet, we got people in Washington that gotten too weak. All they want to do is let people ride their bike. That's what Senator Warnock is doing. Let Joe Biden ride his bike because he voted with him 96% of the time, which means he don't know what he's doing or he seems to love Joe Biden. I don't know which one it is, but I can tell you both of them is wrong because
you know, instead of doing ads, can we just play this video on repeat in Georgia? I mean, come on here. I mean, how is this even real? You know, at the same time, you have Republicans reflecting on why they were repudiated in the midterms, and they talk about, well, our candidate quality is lacking. You have Herschel Walker going around talking about bicycles, vampires, werewolves, whatever the hell he's talking about. I mean, this is what it comes down to. This is just strange behavior. This is weird. This is dangerous. And what Herschel Walker is auditioning for is a job that will be able to make decisions over the lives of people in Georgia and over the lives of Americans. This is an individual who's going to be entrusted, if he were to be elected, with a lot of power to make critical decisions of life and death for Americans. And I know MAGA extremists like to just gaslight America and like to have Americans engaged in division, and they like to create these culture wars, and they focus on green M&Ms and Mr. Potato Heads and Dr. Seuss and Disney characters or whatever Ben Shapiro and Tucker Carlson and Charlie Kirk and people like that want to push. But this is life or death stuff. You know, you don't have to be a politician. You know, why are these people running for political offices where they're going to make decisions over our lives? And why is a whole political party, the Republicans, have become such a weird, bizarre, and dangerous cult where they're pushing individuals like this for positions? Like, again, one of the things that we've seen in the midterms, and the data has reflected the amount of independent voters, non-affiliated voters, former Republicans, this coalition of pro-democracy, and even more than just pro-democracy. It's very important, critical pro-democracy, but pro-normalcy, this exhausted majority of Americans who watch exactly what I just showed you and just said, this isn't funny. This isn't a joke. This is life or death. And we can't have these candidates who MAGA Republicans are throwing our way to be the ones who make decisions that's going to impact our lives, our family lives, our community, and our country. And this is what Herschel Walker is out there doing each and every day now, giving speeches like this and talking about that. On the other hand, you have Raphael Warnock, who, in addition to just being an incredible politician, a great human being, though, is just someone who has fought for the people of Georgia. As someone who has articulated his ideas in very cogent ways and has not just talked the talk, but has walked the walk as a sitting senator, and has plans to help people. You know, and the fact that Republicans may still be rallying around someone like Herschel Walker really shows the problem. You know, I don't agree with Democrats on everything. I consider myself a Democrat because they're the only party that has adults in the room, while Republicans are putting candidates like Herschel Walker out there. Democrats have adults in the room. I disagree with Democrats on a lot of issues, but overwhelmingly, I believe that Democrats are trying to move the country in the right direction. They're addressing and grappling with real issues that Americans care about, whether it's healthcare, whether it's education, whether it's infrastructure, whether it's freedoms such as the freedom that a woman should have over their body, the freedoms for Americans to love who they want to love without the government intervening, true freedoms. You know, I support the Democrats because they're talking about supporting our allies and not supporting people like Vladimir Putin and Kim Jong-un. You know, I agree with them, but there's a set of things that I agree with, and it's those principles right now that draw me to being a Democrat. If the Democrats start putting out candidates who talk about vampires and werewolves and bicycles and all of that, I'm not going to support that candidate. But that's just not the dynamic that we have here. And judging by speeches like this, Herschel Walker clearly hasn't got the message of the midterms, and it's important that we send that message to him, that the people of Georgia send the message to him, that what we just saw here, it's not funny. It's sad. It's disappointing. But it's very dangerous to the lives of Americans that Republicans are thrusting and imposing these unqualified and deeply flawed and disturbed individuals to leadership positions to make decisions over our family. To me, it's that simple. I'm Ben Meiselas from the MeidasTouch Network. Hit the subscribe button right now. We're on our way to 1 million subscribers thanks to your support. In addition, consider becoming a patron of MeidasTouch. Go to patreon.com/MeidasTouch, patreon.com/MeidasTouch. We're not funded by any outside investors, no millionaires or billionaires who fund the both sides media, who fund the pro-fascist media. We are only fueled by you and your generosity. So if you can, go check it out. There's lots of exclusive content there at Patreon, but most importantly, help grow this platform together. I'm Ben Meiselas. Until next time.
MeidasTouch is unapologetically pro-democracy. And look, we know you are too. So please make sure you check out our best-selling shirt and our best-selling gear, the unapologetically pro-democracy gear. And hey, while you're at it, make sure you check out my favorite shirt and one of our most famous designs, It Wasn't Rigged, You're Just a Loser, at store.meidastouch.com. That's store.meidastouch.com.